Imagine a place where the trees seem to whisper secrets, and the wind carries the whispers of the damned. Welcome to Appalachia, where some of the most disturbing true small-town horror stories have unfolded. As you step into these isolated hollows, you can't help but feel a sense of unease, a creeping dread that something is lurking just beyond the tree line. The darkness that permeates these Appalachian towns is palpable, a living, breathing entity that seems to seep into your very pores. The Brown Mountain Lights, a mysterious phenomenon that has been witnessed by locals and tourists alike for generations, are a perfect example of this eerie atmosphere. Imagine driving down a winding mountain road, the headlights of your car casting an otherworldly glow on the trees. Suddenly, a burst of light appears in the distance, a swirling vortex of colors that seems to pulse with an otherworldly energy. The locals call it the Brown Mountain Lights, a name that has been passed down for centuries. But the Brown Mountain Lights are more than just a natural phenomenon. They're deeply connected to the spirit world, according to the Cherokee Native American tribe that once called this land their home. The Cherokee believe that the lights are a manifestation of the spirit world, a portal to the realm of the dead. And according to legend, the lights are a harbinger of doom, a warning sign that something sinister is lurking just beneath the surface. As we delve deeper into the heart of Appalachia, you begin to realize that the line between reality and the supernatural is blurred. The towns here are isolated, cut off from the rest of the world by nothing but winding roads and dense forests. It's a place where the past and present collide, where the whispers of the dead seem to echo through the streets. And it's here, in these hollows, that the most disturbing true small-town horror stories have unfolded. One such story is that of the Brown Mountain Lights connection to the disappearance of a young girl named Anna. Anna was a local girl who went missing one fateful night, and her body was never found. But rumors began to circulate that she was seen walking through the woods, her spirit trapped between the world of the living and the dead. And some say that on certain nights, when the Brown Mountain Lights are at their brightest, you can still see Anna walking through the trees, her ghostly form beckoning to the living. But what lies within these hollows is far more sinister than you could ever imagine. It's a place where the veil between the living and the dead is at its thinnest, where the whispers of the damned seem to carry on the wind. And as we continue our journey into the heart of Appalachia, you'll begin to realize that the darkness that lurks within these hollows is not just a product of your imagination. It's a reality that's all too real, a presence that's waiting to pounce on the unsuspecting traveler. The towns here are full of secrets that are hidden beneath the surface of everyday life. It's a place where the normal rules of reality don't apply, where the supernatural seems to seep into every pore of existence. And it's here, in these isolated Appalachian towns, that the most disturbing true small-town horror stories have unfolded. One such story is that of the Bell, which, a malevolent spirit that seemed to possess a family's farm in the late 18th century. The Bell, which was a presence that seemed to seep into every aspect of life, from the crops to the livestock to the very walls of the family's home. And according to legend, the Bell, which was a spirit that seemed to embody the very essence of evil, a presence that was determined to drive the family to madness and despair. But the Bell, which is more than just a legend, she's a reminder that the supernatural is all too real, that the darkness that lurks within these hollows is not just a product of your imagination. And as we continue our journey into the heart of Appalachia, you'll begin to realize that the line between reality and the supernatural is blurred, that the very fabric of existence seems to be torn apart by the forces of good and evil. The towns here are a labyrinth of secrets and lies, a place where the truth is hidden beneath a veneer of normalcy. It's a place where the supernatural seems to seep into every pore of existence, where the whispers of the dead seem to carry on the wind. And as we delve deeper into the heart of Appalachia, you'll begin to realize that the darkness that lurks within these hollows is not just a product of your imagination. It's a reality that's all too real, a presence that's waiting to pounce on the unsuspecting traveler. But what lies within these hollows is far more sinister than you could ever imagine. It's a place where the veil between the living and the dead is at its thinnest, where the supernatural seems to seep into every pore of existence. And as we continue our journey into the heart of Appalachia, you'll begin to realize that the line between reality and the supernatural is blurred, that the very fabric of existence seems to be torn apart by the forces of good and evil. As we step into the heart of Appalachia, you'll begin to realize that the darkness that lurks within these hollows is not just a product of your imagination. It's a reality that's all too real, a presence that's waiting to pounce on the unsuspecting traveler. And it's here, in these isolated Appalachian towns, that the most disturbing true small-town horror stories have unfolded. But what lies within these hollows is far more sinister than you could ever imagine. It's a place where the veil between the living and the dead is at its thinnest, where the supernatural seems to seep into every pore of existence. And as we continue our journey into the heart of Appalachia, you'll begin to realize that the line between reality and the supernatural is blurred, that the very fabric of existence seems to be torn apart by the forces of good and evil. As we delve deeper into the heart of Appalachia, you'll begin to realize that the darkness that lurks within these hollows is not just a product of your imagination. It's a reality that's all too real, a presence that's waiting to pounce on the unsuspecting traveler. And it's here, in these isolated Appalachian towns, that the most disturbing true small-town horror stories have unfolded. You're standing at the edge of a coal mine, the darkness swallowing you whole as you step into the depths of the Appalachian earth. The air is thick with the weight of history, the whispers of the past echoing through the tunnels. You can feel the presence of those who came before, their stories etched into the walls like graffiti on a prison cell. The Monongah Coal Mine Disaster is one of the most tragic events in American mining history. On December 6, 1907, 362 miners lost their lives in a matter of hours. The explosion that ripped through the mine was so powerful that it shook the very foundations of it. The sound of screams and cries for help echoed through the tunnels, but it was too late. The men were trapped, buried beneath the weight of the coal and the rubble that fell in their wake. As you walk through the mine, you can't help but feel a sense of unease. The darkness closes in around you, the air thick with the smell of smoke and sweat. You wonder what it must have been like for those men, trapped in the depths of the earth with no escape. The thoughts send a shiver down your spine as you imagine the fear and panic that must have gripped them. But the Monongah disaster is more than just a tragic accident. It's a legend, a story that has been passed down through the years like a ghostly whisper. Miners have reported encountering ghostly apparitions deep in the mine, their faces twisted in agony as they relive the horrors of that fateful day. Others have spoken of strange noises, the sound of pickaxes striking coal in the darkness, even though no one is there. You can't help but wonder if there's truth to these stories. Is the Monongah mine haunted by the spirits of those who died there? Or is it just the product of a fevered imagination, a way for men to cope with the dangers of their job? You'll never know for sure, but one thing is certain. The Monongah disaster has left a lasting impact on the people of Appalachia. As you delve deeper into the mine, you start to feel a sense of claustrophobia. The walls seem to be closing in around you, the air growing thick with the weight of the earth above. You can feel the pressure building, the weight of the coal, and the rubble pressing down on you like a physical force. It's a feeling that's hard to describe, but it's one that's familiar to anyone who's ever worked in a coal mine. The eerie feeling of being trapped underground is a sensation that's hard to shake. It's a reminder that you're not in control, that the earth above you is a powerful and unforgiving force. You can feel the weight of the coal, the way it presses down on you like a physical force. It's a feeling that's both terrifying and exhilarating, a reminder of the power of nature and the fragility of human life. As you continue to explore the mine, you start to notice strange symbols etched into the walls. They're crude, almost childish, but they seem to pulse with a malevolent energy. You can't help but wonder what they mean, whether there's some kind of warning or a message from the other side. You'll never know for sure, but one thing is certain. The Monongah Mine is a place of mystery and terror, a place where the lines between reality and the supernatural are blurred. And as you stand at the edge of the mine, the darkness closing in around you, you can't help but wonder, is the curse of the Appalachian coal mines a true horror, or just a product of a fevered imagination? The answer, like the mine itself, remains a mystery, a secret that's hidden deep in the heart of the earth. You can't help but feel a sense of unease as you step out of the mine, the darkness closing in behind you like a physical force. You know that you'll never forget this place, this sense of unease and terror that's been etched into your soul. And as you walk away from the mine, you can't help but wonder what other secrets the Appalachian coal mines hold, secrets that are waiting to be uncovered like a ghostly whisper in the darkness. The curse of the Appalachian coal mines is a legend that's been passed down through the years, a story that's been told and retold like a ghostly whisper in the darkness. But is it true? Is the mine really haunted by the spirits of those who died there? Or is it just a product of a fevered imagination, a way for men to cope with the dangers of their job? You'll never know for sure, but one thing is certain. The Monongah Mine is a place of mystery and terror, a place where the lines between reality and the supernatural are blurred. As you continue to explore the depths of the Appalachian coal mines, you'll discover that the horrors that lie within are not just the result of a tragic accident, but a curse that has been unleashed upon the land. A curse that's been waiting to be uncovered, like a ghostly whisper in the darkness, a reminder of the power of nature and the fragility of human life. You step into the heart of Appalachia, where the whispers of the past echo through the hollows. The Appalachian witches of the past are a tale of terror that has been shrouded in mystery for centuries. It's a story of fear, of superstition, and of the devastating consequences that can occur when the unknown is feared and misunderstood. Imagine a time when the air was thick with the weight of suspicion, where the mere whisper of a name could be enough to seal a person's fate. It's a dark chapter in American history, one that saw hundreds of women accused of witchcraft and executed in the 17th and 18th centuries. The witch trials of Appalachia were a reign of terror that left a lasting impact on the region, a legacy of fear that still haunts the towns and villages of today. As you delve into the history of these trials, you begin to realize that it wasn't just the accused who were the victims. The witch-hunting societies that roamed the Appalachian countryside were driven by a fervor that bordered on madness. These self-appointed hunters of the damned preyed on the fears of the people, using their power to destroy anyone suspected of witchcraft. The result was a trail of death and destruction that continues to shock and horrify to this day. One of the most infamous witch trials in Appalachian history took place in 1692 in the town of Salem, West Virginia. The trial of Elizabeth Johnson, a 35-year-old woman accused of witchcraft, is a chilling example of the hysteria that gripped the region. Johnson was subjected to a series of brutal interrogations, during which she was forced to confess to crimes she did not commit. The trial was a sham, with the outcome all but certain from the start. Johnson was found guilty and executed by hanging, her body left to rot in the town square as a warning to others. The witch trials of Appalachia were not just a relic of the past, but a living, breathing force that continues to shape the region today. The fear of the unknown is a powerful force that can drive men to madness and terror, as the people of Appalachia can attest. It's a legacy that has been passed down through generations, a cautionary tale of the dangers of fear and superstition. As you walk through the deserted streets of an Appalachian town, you can't help but feel a sense of unease. The wind whispers secrets in your ear, and the trees seem to loom over you, casting long, ominous shadows on the ground. It's a feeling that's hard to shake, a sense of being watched by unseen eyes. And it's a feeling that's all too familiar to the people of Appalachia, who live with the legacy of the witch trials every day. The Appalachian witches of the past may be a relic of the past, but their impact on the region continues to be felt today. The fear of the unknown is a powerful force that can drive men to madness and terror, And it's a reminder that the darkness of the past can still have a very real impact on our lives. As you continue on your journey through the hollows of Appalachia, you can't help but wonder what other secrets lie hidden in the shadows, waiting to be uncovered. You start to feel a shiver run down your spine as you realize that the legacy of the Appalachian witches is a reminder that the line between reality and madness is thin indeed. It's a reminder that the fear of the unknown is a powerful force that can drive men to madness and terror. And it's a warning that the darkness of the past can still have a very real impact on our lives. As you continue on your journey, you can't help but wonder what other secrets lie hidden in the shadows, waiting to be uncovered. You're standing in the heart of Appalachia, surrounded by the rolling hills and dense forests that have captivated and terrified generations. The mysterious disappearances of this region are etched into the collective consciousness, a series of unsolved enigmas that have left families shattered and communities bewildered. Let's start with the story of the Sodder children, 5 siblings who vanished on Christmas Eve in 1945. The only sign of their existence was a trail of ashes and speculation that has haunted the small town of Fayetteville ever since. Theories range from a coal mine collapse to a kidnapping, but the truth remains elusive, leaving behind a legacy of questions and heartache. As we delve deeper into the mystery of the Appalachian disappearances, you'll begin to realize that the threads of this narrative are woven from a complex tapestry of superstition, folklore, and unexplained events. The legend of the Appalachian disappearances whispers of a region where the veil between worlds is thin, where the living and the dead coexist in an eerie dance. Imagine walking through the quiet streets of a small Appalachian town, the sun sinking below the horizon as the shadows stretch and twist. You feel a creeping sense of unease, as if something is watching you, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The wind carries whispers of the past, tales of people who vanished in a thin air, leaving behind only a whispered rumor or two. The statistics are staggering. Countless people have disappeared in Appalachia, their fates unknown, their memories lost in the annals of time. Theories abound, from paranormal activity to serial killers, but the truth remains a mystery, shrouded in the mists of time. As we continue to explore the mysterious disappearances of Appalachia, you'll begin to realize that the truth behind these vanishings is far more sinister than you could ever imagine. It's a tale of darkness and fear, of the unknown lurking just beyond the edge of town. The question that haunts us all is, what lies beyond the veil of reality in this forsaken region? As you stand in the heart of Appalachia, you can't help but feel a shiver run down your spine. The wind howls through the trees, a mournful cry that seems to carry the whispers of the past. The darkness closes in around you, and you're left with only one question: what secrets lie hidden in the shadows of this haunted land? You've made it to the depths of Appalachia, where the darkness seems to seep from the very earth itself. The infamous Appalachian Asylum is a place where patients were subjected to inhumane treatment and experimentation, a nightmare that still haunts the region. Imagine being locked away in a cell, subjected to electric shocks, or forced to undergo gruesome surgeries without anesthesia. The stories of those who suffered in this place are a testament to the darkest corners of human nature. One patient, a young woman named Emily, was admitted to the asylum in the 1950s. She was diagnosed with schizophrenia, but as she spent more time in the institution, her condition worsened. She was later found dead in her cell, a victim of the very treatments meant to cure her. The official cause of death was listed as unknown, but those who knew Emily whispered of a more sinister truth. The asylum's dark history is just the beginning. Many former patients have reported encountering ghostly apparitions and unexplained phenomena within its walls. Some claim to have seen the shadowy figure of a young girl, while others speak of hearing disembodied whispers in the dead of night. Whether or not you believe in the supernatural, one thing is certain. The darkness that lies within the Appalachian towns is not just a product of the supernatural, but a symptom of a deeper, darker force that lurks within the human psyche. This force is a manifestation of our own fears and anxieties, a reminder that the line between reality and madness is thin. We're drawn to the darkness, fascinated by the horrors that lurk within. But what happens when we cross that line, when we surrender to the void within? The answer lies in the twisted tales of Appalachia's true small-town horror stories. As we conclude our journey into the heart of Appalachia's darkness, you'll realize that the horrors that lie within are not just the result of accursed land or supernatural forces, but a reflection of our own darker nature. The Appalachian horror stories are a cautionary tale, a reminder that the darkness that lurks within us all is always waiting to consume us whole. And that's exactly what makes these stories so captivating. They're not just about the supernatural or the unknown, but about the human condition itself. Join us next time for more true small-town horror stories from around the world, as we explore the darkest corners of our collective psyche.